Hey everybody, Shawn from Media Assault here, and it's time once again for another movie review. This time I'm going to be taking a look at 2009's Frozen. And this is a movie that I had heard a lot of good things about, but it's one of those movies that you just never get around to watching. I actually was at the used DVD store today and saw it on the shelf for $5 and figured, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. And I'm really glad I did. It's a very bare bones type film, but it's really an effective thriller. I wouldn't go as far to call it a horror movie because it's not really. I mean, there's some scary elements, but it's more like a thriller, more tense, suspenseful. It's not your typical horror movie. It actually is referenced on the cover of the DVD as a horror movie. It will appeal to horror fans, but I wouldn't call it a horror movie. But let's get the plot out of the way. It's about three teenagers, or college students, I guess. They're not really teenagers unless they're 19. They're fairly young, who go skiing in New England, and their names are Parker, Dan, and Lynch. And they kind of finagle their way onto a ski lift for one last run for the night, and due to certain circumstances they get stuck on the ski lift, and it's on a Sunday night. Nobody is going to be in the ski lift or in the ski resort until the weekend, and a winter storm is moving in, so they're stuck on this ski lift suspended 50 feet off the ground with nobody knowing they're there. And the film just really shows you what happens, how they try to survive, how they try to get off, what happens to them. And I'm not going to spoil anything. The joy in this film is finding out or trying to figure out what they're going to do to get off. It was written and directed by Adam Green, who is probably familiar to people watching my channel who are into horror films as the writer and director of the Hatchet series, Hatchet 1 and Hatchet 2, and the forthcoming Hatchet 3. And I haven't seen any of those films. I haven't seen any of this guy's movies before Frozen. And I will just tell you that if this is any indication how the Hatchet movies are, even though those are pretty much, standard horror type movies, I'm looking forward to seeing more of this guy's work. The dialogue in this is really good. The suspense and the directing is really good. Just the pacing, I mean. I was really impressed with this movie, and I was reading some other reviews just to see what some other people had thought of it. A lot of people really like it, and some people just find it a little underwhelming. But for what it is and what it tries to do, it's really effective, and I can't recommend it high enough to those types of people who will obviously get it. So if I had to give it a rating, again, my ratings are genre-based, so being this is a thriller, suspense type film, I would have to give this an 8 out of 10. I think it is really worth your time. It is a fairly short movie, 93 minutes. But it's one of those rare movies that actually cares about the people that's in it. You actually get to know these people. You get to care about them and worry about what's going to happen to them. And that is the mark of a decent film. So, Frozen, check it out. And if you're watching my channel for the first time, thanks for watching. Please comment and rate the video. And if you like what you see, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And coming up real quick, probably within the next day or so, I will have my DVD and Blu-ray and game update for September 2011. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching, everybody. See ya.